they are very old and I'm sure that they've seen a lot. Um, but it's just going to make it harder for any landowner to sell their land if, they have to come in and get a permit to, get rid of the trees. Possession, I'm not sure if, you understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying, but, and it's just, it's gonna make it hard on a landowner.
No, I do understand your point. This will make it, this will add to the process that landowners or developers, have to go through, before they can develop their property, if they do plan to cut down a large tree. And I think that's the point. And so you're absolutely right for raising that up. This is why people present tree preservation ordinances, to make it more difficult, to make it, at least to slow down the process so that people have a chance to recognize what is being done. And I think that though trees do belong on individual property, we limit what property owners can do in this city. One of the reasons that we would limit what property owners can say do with their own property is that what they do, whether they, put a bunch of junky cars in there or whatever, it ends up lowering the value of their neighbors' homes. It ends up lowering the quality of the neighborhood, the quality of the place that people wanna live. And when you have wonderful old growth trees and you destroy them, you lower the value of people's homes surrounding you, whether the trees were on their property or not. You lower the intrinsic value, both financially and aesthetically, of your neighborhood. Trees, though not on our property, affect us and add to our quality of life. You can definitely make the statement that cutting down the rainforest has lowered our quality of life, even though it's in a completely different country. What I feel is that trees are important enough to our neighborhood, to our quality of life, that we put limits on what property owners and developers can do with those old growth trees. Not that we are saying that the destruction of those trees must stop, but that they can no longer have it in their means to do whatever they want with those trees without coming to the city. That if you wanna cut down, a 70, 80-year-old oak tree, that's fine, but you have to come to the city and get a permit. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here.
I'm not sure, but, if, have you driven down South Grant Street all the way down where you see just a whole bunch of oak trees? I mean, those trees have been there since the 1800s, and that's where the railroad would, the train would come by and they would auction off the cattle. But there's really not a neighborhood, as you're saying, it's right next by the railroad, so. But anyways, well.
Okay, Councilmember Wilson?
And I apologize. It adds value in Austin, and this is a personal note. Nephew's property had, I think $8,500 worth of trees on his property. That he had to pay taxes on, by the way. But, and it's not peculiar to Austin, you pay for it. You have your tax on your trees. Why? Because they're valuable. And it's not like any other lot. And so that adds value. And so just from the taxing perspective, that tells you that it has value from an economic perspective.
Do we have any other comments? Or, do you wanna respond to Councilmember Wilson?
No, I agree with him, he does add value,
you tonight to, begin the development of a tree ordinance, tree preservation ordinance for the city. Knowing that staff shortages are what they are, when do you feel that you'd be able to develop such an ordinance?
Given the guidelines that you've already passed out, and I don't know, I'd probably make Debbie do it. Debbie?
We're passing notes back and forth on all that. 'Cause
We were trying to figure out where the city of Austin measured from. I think it's.
when I looked into this about 6 years ago, every city has a measuring system different. How far off the ground? Do you do calipers? Do you use circumference? If you do a caliper, is it from the skinny width of the tree? Because not all trees are perfectly round. And so, every city has a different measuring system, so we just gotta find one of those.
Yeah, but how long do you think it would take us to develop a tree preservation ordinance?
Well, we could start working on it now and then.
Say 3 council meetings by the end of July,
July, that should work.
maybe right after the operating budget.
I move to direct staff to begin writing a tree preservation ordinance for the city of Kyle, with items, similar to what I laid out in my executive summary. To be brought back to council no later than the first council meeting in August. Is there a second? Moved by the mayor and seconded by Councilmember Wilson. Is there any discussion on the motion? Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Just for the record, I'm very excited to have a tree preservation ordinance. So, looking forward to it.